So Pete Hegseth had a tough time at the congressional hearings today.
Oh,
And Pete Hegseth says he's so smart. He thinks doing his hair like Gavin Newsom will make him look smart or honest. How about that? But let's listen. They're going to ask him about the nuclear capability. The whole point of this war, right? They say was so they can't get a nuclear bomb. But we already obliterated the nuclear. Here we go.
Who's hell-bent on getting a nuclear weapon and get them to a point where they're at the table giving it up in a way that
so they
never have it.
So they haven't broken yet. Okay, we haven't gotten there yet for all of the.
Well, their nuclear facilities have been obliterated. Underground, they're buried, and we're watching them 24/7. So we know.
Whoa. You know what? You're on the wrong foot when the guy's like, whoa, when he's talking to you like a guy trying to train a horse. Whoa. Here we go.
Where any nuclear material
reclaiming my time.
That was a lot. Let's put it back
underground, they're buried, and we're watching them 24/7. So we know where any nuclear material
reclaiming my time.
We're watching
a second here. We had to start this war, you just said, 60 days ago, because the nuclear weapon was an imminent threat. Now you're saying that it was completely obliterated?
They had not given up their nuclear ambitions, and they had a conventional shield of thousands of missiles.
So Operation Midnight Hammer accomplished nothing of substance. It left us at exactly the same place we were before. So much so
their
that
facilities were bombed and obliterated. Their ambitions continued, and they're building a conventional shield.
Let me try again.
It's the North Korea strategy. You know this very well. The North Korea strategy was use conventional missiles to prevent anybody from challenging them, so they could slow walk their way to a weapon. President Trump saw Iran at its weakest moment, took an action to ensure, in a way that only the United States of America could do with our Israeli partners,
and yet
to ensure their
conventional
shield was brought
one
to
other
heel,
question,
which we've done.
if I could get to it. So on you.
So it's nice to see somebody confront him with that. Whoa. I thought we already obliterated it, but there's that. Yeah, that somebody unobliterated it. Come on. They still have their ambitions. We're trying to bomb their ambitions. Wow. They're trying to bomb their ambitions. So let's just remember this is who's really pulling the strings.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
And that's exactly what Hegseth is saying now. Well, they got the ambition. And so they get Trump to do a war in Iran, just like they got Bush to do war in Iraq. They got Obama to do war in Libya and Syria. And every time we did a war, it was supposed to bring peace. And who said that? This guy.
You take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxy, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Third nation, by the way, is Libya. Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would. And Iran exporting terrorism not only to every part of the Middle East, but to Venezuela. By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland.
You have to wash their brains and tell them there's a higher cause out there. It's religious, ethnic, racial, whatever. And for that higher cause, you can disregard all the normal rules of morality.
Wow. Yeah, we got to wash their brains because, of course, there aren't any dirty brains in Israel because the pedo central hub of the entire world. So here's some more from that hearing. So Pete Hegseth says from Max Blumenthal. Now he just accused the troops of spreading falsehoods against him. No kidding. He didn't mean to do it, but he does it. Watch this.
maximized across the theater.
Let's talk about what defenses they had. Prior to the attack, officers on the ground knew our troops were vulnerable. In fact, they requested additional force protection. Did they receive it?
Wherever humanly possible, force protection and counter UAS was always made available.
They did not. In fact, when asked to describe the base's defense, one survivor who's come forward from the unit said, quote, I would put it in the none category. From a drone defense capability, none. So let's be clear, no counter drone capabilities, no counter rocket systems, no counter mortar or counter artillery, not even the basic overhead protection that you and I had 20 years ago in Iraq. And now 6 of our soldiers are dead. The next day, you downplayed the attack. You said it was a squirter that squeaked through fortified defenses. But since then, thankfully, brave survivors have come forward to set the record straight. One of our surviving soldiers told CBS, quote, painting a picture that one squeaked through is a falsehood. Another said the unit was, quote, unprepared to provide any defense for itself. It was not a fortified position. Another survivor said the building's protection was about as weak as one gets. Secretary Hegseth, that is obviously in direct contradiction to what you said from the Pentagon podium the next day.
So those are all from soldiers. So that's all reports from soldiers. And listen to how he responds.
So are you saying that these soldiers, our soldiers who survived this horrific attack, are lying?
What I'm saying is before the commencement of the conflict, we put in maximum defensive posture we could.
That's a direct
we moved
contradiction to
70
what they said.
in this directing. Can I speak, or are you just going to monologue falsehoods all over the place?
It's not a false.
So you're going to monologue falsehoods. So he's saying all those quotes from all those soldiers are lies. That's what he just said. You're going to monologue falsehoods. He's saying that what that guy just said, quoting those soldiers, are false, that those guys are lying. Okay.
We moved 7,500 troops off of the X based on the intel.
Stop.
Based on the intel.
Stop. Reclaiming my time.
Because you yell doesn't make you right. Just because you yell doesn't make you right.
I'm reclaiming my time on behalf of these survivors. You just said what they said is a falsehood.
There's a much larger picture.
True?
There's a much larger picture at play here that included integrated air defenses, bunkers, moving people off the X
why, Mr. Secretary,
to ensure that they were not part of the target. We moved those troops and all across the theater, thousands of troops off the X, off of their bases, because we knew what Iran was going to try to strike, and we knew there could be a tragic moment. There could be a tragic moment where something could get through. Of course, that's the consequence of conflict, and we remember those 6 every single day.
I want to finish.
But don't play games with.
I'm not playing games. I want to finish with one more quote.
So, of course, the other soldiers are all liars, and the guy who gets to work in this administration is the guy telling the truth. I think Hegseth drinks so much because he's just too honest. He's ashamed of how forthright and true to his word he is.
From a survivor of the attack, and I put this on the record, telling the truth is important. And we're not going to learn from these mistakes if we pretend these mistakes didn't happen. Secretary Hegseth, those soldiers told the truth. Those soldiers are braver than you are.
I commend them.
They are asking for accountability. They deserve accountability. And I'm asking for the same, starting with you. And as I said a year ago, you need to resign immediately.
I commend those soldiers.
I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Nice.
There's more. Here's some more. I think this is Ro Khanna asking him how much the war is costing American citizens. I think that's what this clip is. Let's watch.
Was our concern?
No, that's not what this is. This is different. This is a different clip.
Was our concern that something?
I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to give you...
So someone else is asking him about the soldiers. Are they just calling the soldiers liars? And here's what he said.
Was our concern that something?
I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to give you a chance.
Absolutely. You're disparaging me that I don't care.
I'm asking you whether you think they're liars or not. That's what I asked you.
You are disparaging me that I don't care about the passing of our troops.
Nope. I asked if you thought they're liars. Terry.
That's disparaging and smearing in every way. Nobody cares more about the fate of our troops. Nobody cares about the health of our troops. Nobody wants to bring them all hope more than I do.
I understand, but he controls the time. He controls the time. You could control your answer. And the gentleman's ready.
That's a Republican chair of the committee telling him, hey, even so that's him again trying to defend that he called the soldiers liars, said they were spreading falsehoods. So here is Rokata, and he tries to get him to say how much the war is actually costing American citizens. Watch, this is about 3 minutes long. Let's watch.
How much did it cost American taxpayers in terms of the strike to the Iranian school where kids were killed? Do you have that number? In terms of the missiles we used?
As I've said, that unfortunate situation remains under investigation.
You don't know how much it costs the taxpayer?
But I wouldn't tie a cost to that, to anything.
It's a reasonable question, no, sir? I mean, our taxpayer money was going there. Do you know how much it will cost Americans in terms of their increased cost in gas and food over the next year because of the Iran war?
I would simply ask you what the cost is of an Iranian nuclear bomb.
I'm going to give you that opportunity.
I would simply ask you what the... you're playing gotcha questions
sir,
about domestic things. I'm not...
You're saying it's a gotcha question to ask what it's going to be in terms of the increased cost of gas.
Why won't you answer what it costs to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb?
I give you that, sir. But let me...
What would it cost? What would you pay to ensure Iran doesn't get a nuclear bomb? What would you pay?
I reclaim my time. Do you not know? You had no one do the analysis of what the increased cost of gas and food on the American people are going to be?
What is the cost of Iran holding that straight at issue with nuclear weapons?
It's $631 billion, which means it's an increase of $5,000 a year for American households. Now, let me give you this point. You're saying that your operation is preventing a nuclear Iran. Will you acknowledge that there is an economic cost to the American people for doing what you believe is necessary to make Iran denuclear? Will you acknowledge the economic cost?
We have an incredible economic team that's managing this better than what the previous administration did to our economy, what the previous administration did with inflation,
you know what's upsetting?
I reclaim my time. With COVID, and you're going to lecture this administration about the economy?
You know what is upsetting?
Incredible.
You didn't even do the analysis on how much it's costing the American people. It's one thing if you said, okay, it costs the American people $5,000, but we think it's worth it. That's what we've done in World War II and other wars. Here's what it costs. You got to pay for it. You don't even know what the average American is paying. You don't know what we paid in terms of the missiles that hit the Iranian school. You don't know what we're paying in terms of gas. You don't know what we're paying in terms of food. Your 25 billion number is totally off. It's the incompetence. It's the incompetence. Okay. Will you acknowledge that there were 970 pounds of uranium enriched after Trump tore up the JCPOA?
The JCPOA was a terrible deal that allowed Iran a path to a nuclear bomb.
You deal with vague platitudes. I'm asking you about numbers. Like you don't know what gas costs. You don't know what food costs. You don't know what the operation costs. You know, I get sound bites, but how about numbers? Do you know how much the enriched uranium was after you ripped up the JCPOA? Trump did.
I'll give you a number. I know that, as was stated by early on, the price of gas is twice as expensive in California, your home state, as anywhere else in the country because of the horrible policies your state pursued.
You know what? It used to be that type of stuff worked, and then you started to lose the people that you campaigned you wanted to be for, because you said you wouldn't get us into bad wars. You said you would bring down the prices. You know what I'm sad for? I'm sad for all the people who voted for Trump. I'm sad for them because you betrayed them. You betrayed a lot of that MAGA base. And you know who knows that? J.D. Vance knows that.
So when asked a relevant question, Hegseth deflects and demands the other person answer a question that A, we already know the answer to, and B, has nothing to do with the topic. It's the updated 2.0 version of, but do you condemn Hamas? It's like your psycho ex calling you at 3 a.m. and asking, so what did you do with my boogie board in Fort Lauderdale storage? Pete Hegseth crashing out. Doesn't look good, but his hair looks good, and he's got that French collar. That's what that's called, I think. It goes sideways, you know, those French collars.
I gotcha.
All right. If you'd like to hear I got tough jokes for tough times. Come see me in Atlanta, May 23rd. Raleigh, North Carolina, May 24th. I'll be in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Spokane, Tacoma, and Levittown. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see me May 23rd in Atlanta, May 24th in Raleigh, North Carolina. We'll be May 7th in Burbank, then Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Spokane, Tacoma, June 26th and 27th, Levittown, New York at Governor's. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.